Ladies and gentlemen, Grapple Kings presents 10 rounds and is 10 minutes and is sponsored by Forged Irish Stout. Please welcome firstly to the red corner, Mantas Vosylius.
Imagine everybody flashing, fashion, designer clothes, lacing your click up with diamond rolls. Your people holding dough, no parole, no rubbers, going raw.
And now would you please welcome his opponent into the blue corner, Jess Paulo.
Well, you know, Chris, they're saying positive reinforcement. You visualize where you want to get to and then you work towards that. So if Mantas is really going to rule the world one day, he needs to rule the Grapple Kings mat first.
Beautiful stuff.
Do you know what? It's you laughing is putting me off these things. Do you know?
I don't mean to
We
laugh.
went over this beforehand.
I'm just taking it all in. Referee here just making sure both fighters understand the rules of engagement.
It's also a matchup that you may well see in a cage with gloves one day. Both active amateur MMA fighters. Mantas representing SBG Tullamore with Kieran Davern, and Jess representing Sanda MMA in Dundalk. On the town.
Any other famous celebrities from Dundalk, Andrew?
Steve Staunton.
Andrew McGann.
Steve Staunton, number 1. Andrew McGann, number 2. I do have a bit for later on about similarities between Dundalk and Bray, but we're going to save that for the main card.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Bit of hand fighting going on here. Looking for neck control.
Yeah, we're looking for a neck or a body lock here. We can assume from if these men are coming from a mixed martial arts background.
I'd imagine we're going to see, it's a nice 2-on-1 attempt from Mantas here. I suppose it helps when you have one of the best no-gi grapplers as your coach in the corner there, Kieran Davern to our left.
Yeah, I'm just listening to him here. He's calling for some snaps and some level changes here. In the cage, these guys would be using strikes to open up these shots and entries, but lovely sit out here from Mantas. Now that's me satisfied for the night, Andrew.
Yeah,
a sit out like that.
Well timed, aided by the fact that Jess had taken 2 overhooks on the body, as opposed to like a head
here we go.
Control.
And let me tell you this, the crowd absolutely ate it up.
They loved it. There was a huge ooh of anticipation from them, or appreciation, I should say. Oh, a bit of a Craig Jones annoyance here. I see that right foot in behind the back of the calf before he takes the back. Likely stolen from something else, but
knowing old
quite
Jonesy.
popular, yeah.
Here's another body triangle, which he opts to release there. Jess has access sometimes there, or the defending person has access to a bit of a tricky leg lock situation or an ankle attack.
If the feet are crossed, certainly, which they are at the minute, but
in some circles referred to as the Letty lockpick in certain circles.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there is a person in our gym who can tap people from this position, where he steps over and puts the press. That's the Letty lockpick. Ah.
Must have come to one of my seminars, Andrew. I have tried and failed against some people, though. You know, it's not exactly a
foolproof lock.
By
it's
no
not
means.
A master lock.
No,
master key. Yeah.
By no means. He's kept a great head and arm control here, though, to make his way back on top.
Yeah, you see the reset, Mike. Oh, nice wee sneaky right hook going in after the reset, which is possibly as important as the technique, you know yourself.
I hate to say it, but the oldest trick in the book.
Good reset.
Yeah. Would have
preferred supervising
to see,
this. Look at this. You can reset the lads, like, you know, they know the position, but the crowd again eating this up. you know, this is a really interactive event. We're having this evening.
Interesting to not see the referees opt for the roly-poly technique there.
Yeah, which is just keep going. Yeah.
I'd like to see Mantas get back on top here, which I think he looks, and there exactly, yeah. Something I see too often is with that one hook, the attacker ends up kind of falling off, and it's a much more high percentage option to get back up with your head and arm control there and threaten, especially in the no-gi, where we don't have access to the collars, but to threaten that kind of quarter mount scenario. And he's done well, it's paid off, and in the end he stays behind his partner.
He's been active with his feet here in terms of his hooks and just constantly tracking this position.
Yeah.
But Jess has done well to lose hooks at certain times in the sequence and then just hasn't capitalized on the next step that would be required. He's got a nice wee handcuff as well here on the left hand side from Mantas, maybe hidden from those watching at home.
And then go to hooks again.
Obviously both of these gentlemen would love nothing more than to just see red and start throwing hands from this position, but it's more
another day, maybe. Another day, hopefully. Hopefully we don't see that today.
We could see an arm being trapped here because the underhook is going for the opposite wrist, but Jess is doing well to keep his elbow high.
And that speaks to what we were chatting about earlier, when the body triangle is up in the air like it is now. Mantas's right leg is free to try to trap that top arm.
Yeah, when it's on the ground side, you've got no chance of
Yeah,
trapping
you remove that.
Some very good hand fighting from Jess in that last exchange. It was under the throat. He did well to free it. You can get away with some sneaky ones here as well, Chris. You know, per the official rules, you know, you'd need to see somebody controlling all four fingers at once to strip off a choke, but one or two doesn't hurt.
No, not at all. I'm interested as to why the referee isn't choosing to reset this here. If we keep going at this stage, we will be out in the reception area, Andrew.
Let's see who tries to take the yard or the inch on the reset here.
Yes, and if I'm Jess here, I'm absolutely taking whatever I can off this. And if I can't get a little bit, yeah, look, I see him trying to hide that hip. I am moving straight away here, Andrew.
Yeah, as soon as the reset goes.
He's shown great resilience here, and he's shown great awareness to defend the choke, but I think he needs to show a little bit more intensity and pace in those half open positions when Mantas's arms aren't connected, or when he's going to change from the body triangle to two hooks, which he seems to be opting for quite a lot here. Mantas seems to be changing that leg positioning very often.
He's moving quite a lot between them, and maybe if he feels Jess's initial escape is good, he's trying to stay one step ahead of it. But if I'm Jess now, I'm thinking both shoulders down to the mat, and just maybe you could accept the worst position here. But that's exactly what Chris Leddy looked for earlier on, turning away from the body triangle and coming back up into the closed guard.
Lovely stuff, especially considering these guys are training MMA. They just never want to concede that mount. You'd much rather have somebody body triangle on your back
defending a choke,
than that bottom mount. Whereas that bit of space that in a jiu-jitsu match, certainly that bit of space that transition creates can be
getting back to a guard, elevating your opponent, getting a knee back in.
Yeah.
But if that happened in an MMA contest, they're still in a dominating position on top to be able to drop some bombs.
Drop some bombs, exactly. And again here, I think he's doing well to keep his head up. The traditional kind of, I hesitate to use this word too often, but the posture on top here from Jess looks strong. But he's going to need a little bit more than that. Again, that he needs to create some type of opening of the legs here without exposing his own leg. But he needs a scramble that he needs to try to get ahead of.
Mantas has an arm partway isolated here. Jess has recovered it back. Now his hands are on the hips. Mantas seems pretty keen on looking for that K-guard type entry.
Will he get the Kimura here?
With
a little bit of octopus action here, a la our friend Mr. Jones. He's trying to swap his feet here. If he can,
Jess
oh,
could
he's
end up-
lost the foot though.
I was going to say Jess could have ended up on the back there if Mantas had committed too much more to it, but 1 minute left, and Jess is really going to have to go for broke in this situation.
Yeah, I'm feeling a Darce if he can skip past the legs there. Lovely job from Mantas, really stretching him out. Should finish this with a strong sweep.
This is where you'd want the Darce now.
Yeah, I was noticing those overhooks. This is what we spoke about earlier. Jess's left knee, oh well, it's just as I say that, the commentator's curse. It's been swallowed again, but when that left knee is free here, we're a lot more based out in front of our partner as opposed to in their guard per se. And that Darce front headlock, Japanese necktie, anything in that family certainly becomes available. Here we go, he needs to go for this now.
Yeah, big time.
A minute left. I'm feeling it looks like he's long arms here. Yeah, this is just what I was thinking. This is just what I was thinking. He needs to get his legs involved here.
He still may have something here, but
Yeah, the hands opened though.
great advice from Kieran Davern and telling him to stand up from that position. You know, and unfortunately, like it is judged in 3-round periods, but you'd have to consider that maybe one of the closest submission attempts of the match.
Yeah, true.
It won't be enough to outweigh the first.
No, I don't think so. I would love to see him keep his hands joined there. I think the telling moment in that transition, I'm not sure if the camera picked it up at home, but he went from the kind of hand on the bicep anaconda grip to back to a palm to palm. And one thing I always preach in a no-gi class, lovely little mat return there, but is getting those hands joined and keeping them joined.
I have a feeling we're going to see Mantas get his hand raised here, but
I think so.
definitely a great performance. Good showing of himself from Jess.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 minutes, we go to the judges' scorecards. For your winner by unanimous decision, Mantas Vosylius.